All right. Good evening. And what has arrived over the weekend is Bauer's new goalie pad knee guards. So I got them sitting side by side next to my old boys. My old Warrior seniors that I pulled out, which I got about maybe a season and a half of work out of them before they were just finally beat down to nothing. So this is just a little comparison and just a little bit of talk about the equipment real quick, and then we'll get on with the life. As always, I am a shitty beer league goalie. I'm not very good at this at all. I don't claim to be any good. This is just my experience. Okay, so let's first talk about the Warriors, just to get those out of the way. These were actually pretty good knee guards. I had bought these in fall of 19, and so I probably got about a season and a half of hockey out of them, probably about roughly, I don't know, 40, maybe 50 games at least. And these are the senior versions, not the pro. But these were solid knee pads. There was really nothing wrong with them at all. And, things just wear down over time. If they didn't, I'd probably be still using them. There's a lot of things I liked about them. The three-piece cuff here in the middle. And this piece, upper thigh, and then also the knee. I guess you'd call it knee pillow itself. I'm not exactly sure in the technical jargon. You can sue me later. But these straps wrap around your leg when you put them on. And you look at the back of the cradle here. This is padded on both sides. This is actually pretty soft, nice, thick padding when I first got these. Didn't really have any issues with the strapping. These felt comfortable wrapped around my leg. The reason I bought these at that time was the price point, because they're about $80. I mean, it's goaltending. If you're watching this, being a goalie is expensive. There's just all there is to it. You're gonna be burning money. Just burn your wallet if you want to play goalie. That's it. Just set the damn thing on fire. But these were solid up here. The best part I thought about these knee guards was this flap right here. It's got 4 holes punched through it. So this was really easy to tie in and lace into your goalie pants, or if you had like a girdle or something like that. I use some 550 cord. Here's a new piece of it right here. Good old 550 cord, baby. This will solve a lot of problems in your life. You can get this pretty cheap. So I cut a piece off, and then I pull the white guts out of it, so that way I only have just the green piece. And that's what I've been using to tie into my goalie pants to keep my knee pads from slipping. I was one of those guys, I didn't like tape. Guys were like folding socks and tape this and spending more time taping their knee pads or knee guards in place, and they actually were like putting the rest of their equipment on. And then, I don't want mobility or tape cutting off circulation in my leg, or when they're too tight, or worried about them sliding, or always fidgeting with them constantly. So I get the right length of 550 cord, tie into the goalie pants, however you want to do it, whatever works for you, and then you're just rock and roll, ready to go. But yeah, these were the senior model. But yeah, I got about a season and a half of hockey out of them. So I mean, these things are pretty beat. I took a shot off these right here in a scrimmage probably about a month ago, and then when I actually got back on the ice this summer to play my first game, I could just tell, just going down to my butterfly and other things, that these things were just completely shot. They just, when I took that shot off my pad here, like, it felt like I barely had anything on there. So I mean, these things get soaked with sweat and piss and blood, or whatever the hell you're doing in the crease, and they just wear out. So, thanks for your service. And then knee pads. But yeah, I mean, Warriors are good. If you're looking to play goalie on a budget, give the Warriors senior level gear a try. You'll probably get at least a good season or two out of the gear before you have to replace any of it. But I mean, it's good, solid gear. Is it top of the line stuff? Is it going to be, whatever Bauer Hyperlight or CCM Axis or whatever? No. But this stuff, if you're just playing rec league goalie, or just playing beer league goalie, whatever you're doing, yeah, this is fine. You'll be just fine wearing this type of gear. And yes, so the good old boys. Thanks a lot, pal. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the new one. So these are Bauer's new pro level guards. These are a lot bigger. And as you kind of see, if you remember from the beginning of the video, these things are a lot bigger and a lot more burlier than what the Warriors are. And these are pro level, and it's got the curve composite, which I'm actually personally a pretty big fan of what Bauer's done with that. You're going to get pretty hot rebounds off the curve. It's pretty stout. Yeah, I don't think it's going to break down. It's going to take a lot for the curve to break down, you know, depending on how many shots you take off your knees, if you just find yourself open in your butterfly, or, you know, how many times you're going up and down. You know, this stuff is really tough, and I think it'll maintain. So simple stuff on the back cradle, just like most other knee pads, except this has changed. So this kind of wraps around your calf. And I like this little retraining strap right here too that kind of holds that strap in place, wraps around your front of your knee, and that cinches in. So I put these on earlier and I was running around my house like a goon, and they didn't slide off at all anywhere. So I mean, this neoprene material, Bauer's materials and stuff they've been doing the last couple of years have been really great. This stuff feels really soft, so if you're wearing either the player gear or maybe you have some other Bauer gear, you will know and expect whatever type of quality that is. So to open this up, pull this guy out through here. I really kind of like the fact this does kind of lock this in place. You're not gonna have to worry about it catching on anything or snagging on anything or coming undone, I don't think, while you're in a game. I mean, you know, big disclaimer, of course, I've not had these on the ice yet. Hopefully within the next week, I'll be out there with them. Let's see, and even try to get this done one-handed. And pull that Velcro through. Might have to set the phone down, boys. Hold on here. Hold on here. All right. So, like with a lot of Bauer gear you've seen lately, player, goalie, whatever, you know, thermal core, they're putting it everywhere. So like the curve is almost as ubiquitous as the thermal core itself. So this material is really soft, feels real nice when you touch it, really comfortable on your leg. Like I put the knee pads on and I just did a couple drops in my living room, you know, over there in my crappy carpet that I'm going to be ripping out and replacing this winter. But no, so this little area, this little diamond, if you will, this is kind of where your kneecap is supposed to go. So when you get down on there, so you can't really tell by looking at it, but this whole plate up front is really thick. And it has more of that curve in there. It's got a hard plastic in there on top of this stuff in here too. It's nice and padded. Yeah, this is really tight foam padding. Oh, sorry, the strap's in the way again. As you can see, thermal core. So, you know, Bauer claims it's supposed to keep you cooler while you're playing and also like wick the sweat away from your body. And so that way you're not getting saggy, you know, towards the end of the game if you feel like you're sweating and if your gear starts feeling heavy or whatnot. The idea of the thermal core is supposed to be some sort of moisture type wicking material. So there's that. So there is the middle here. And that's it. This little strap piece keeps all three of these pieces together. And this is the curve. And this stuff, as you can hear it, this stuff is pretty damn hard. So, you know, you take a shot off of it. You know, I got a Bauer chest protector and also got a Bauer pants, as we're going to see here in a second. You know, the 2X Pros, they also have curve in them. These will take a shot and they will produce a pretty hot rebound. That's kind of been the curve, the hallmark of curve. So, and getting into this, and I think they've upgraded. I didn't have the Bauer Supremes prior to this. You know, I've only been goaltending for like maybe 2 seasons and doing it very badly. But anyway, I'm still having a lot of fun, so I don't care. But they added this little material right here, little grip material. So it goes in the back of your thigh, gives you less chance of that slipping out. And more of the thermal core. And this piece is pretty stout too, just like the middle plate with the curve, more curve in here. And, you know, one thing I think I would have liked, and this is going back to the old Warriors again. So if you look, you know, once again, I like this. This is nice piece of leather. It's stitched in well. I mean, this isn't going anywhere. I had initially tried tying these through the loop, but this on my other pad, on my other knee pad, they started ripping out. So, I mean, this thing's pretty flimsy. It sucks. Not a fan. But this little piece, and I know that they do it on the Warrior Pro level knee pads, and I kind of felt those too in the hockey shop I was at locally. But yeah, I kind of wish that Bauer had something like this. But going back to the Bauer loop, this feels really stitched in, and they folded it over and stitched it over again. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere, honestly. I think this is going to hold up for a long time. I mean, this is kind of like a grip loop you might feel like on a hockey bag. So, I mean, yeah, they double stitched this over, stitched in thick and wide here at the top of the knee guard itself. So, flip that back over. Like I said, I'll get these on the ice soon. I don't really anticipate any problems. So, I've tied in, I mean, you can do this any way you want. It's personal preference. But I've tied in the right knee guard already into my Bauer 2X Pros. And that's another good thing I like about these Bauers. And hopefully you can see this inside here. Look at that right there. Some 550 cord, tied it up, taped it off. So I got that little piece of red loop in there, and you just tie that right into the top loop of, oh, sorry if the light is dark, apologize. See if I can get some light in there so you can see better. Here we go. So yeah, just tie that in that loop. You can do whatever knot you like. I've just looped mine over a couple times, tied it back against itself and taped it off. And that's the rig I'm going with. So, I mean, I don't think this is going to be, I mean, even though they're kind of stitched, the red loop is kind of stitched. I can't really see it that well, sorry. Kind of stitched in there, but stitched in the fabric. But I mean, this seemed like it's anchored pretty well. But I mean, I left some slack in there, so it's not like I'm constantly pulling and tugging at that red loop. You know, and honestly, you can tie it through down there, or, you know, if you got some sort of girdle or other configuration, maybe in the top of the pants, however that works for you. There's also this little tag too that would also suffice to do that. Let's say if that red thing tip ripped out, and just tie it back down through there. And that's it. I mean, these pants are also new. Just got these bought these on clearance, which is nice. So I mean, it'll save you a lot of money, especially being a Duster Beer League goalie as myself. So that's just another idea. But yeah, that's the rig. Give these pads a shot. I'm goalieing in 2 leagues this year, so I mean, I figured I probably need something a little bit burlier and a little bit tougher, because I'm probably anticipating at least 50, possibly 60 games at least during this hockey season. So we'll see how these last over time and how they do. But anyways, thanks for checking in. These are the Bauer new pro level knee guards for goalies. I bought these off of Goalie Monkey, but you can find them a whole bunch of other places too. They're out there and about. And yeah, thanks again. Good luck, boys, and have a good season.